goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here out of turn 4.
Tries to slam the door, but they sends him right back up the racetrack.
Big moment for Boney between him and Dexter. It's Ryan Kuhn yet again out of turn number 4. He's going to win for a second time in the Misfit Touring Series. And it's all about Christian Peterson out front. 9 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 4 times he's finished runner-up. But tonight, it's the first time win here in the Touring Series.
Christian Peterson, after 17 races, finally gets it done.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hampton, Virginia, where you know what they say, protein is power and Langley is speed. Welcome to the Misfit Touring Series Season number 3 for round 13 of 15 races in the Misfit Touring Series. We are coming down to the wire, and it has been banger after banger, and we just had our third different winner of the season 1 week ago at Lanier. Join us on racemrl.com, but golly, we've had some fun. My name is Scott Shive. I'm joined alongside this evening by Gavin Grubbs, as well as our excellent producer, Morgan Cook, and cameras provided to you by Dougie Beard. Well, Gavin, we've already had some fun tonight, as well as us and Morgan just laughing behind the scenes, but we've got 19 cars here ready to rip and run at Langley.
Yeah, 19 cars here is going to feel like 36 cars because this track It is short, it is tight, it is one lane around the bottom for the most part, and it will be action-packed. Don't ask me how to be fast here because I still haven't figured it out yet.
Well, I got you on that one. This is a high-speed racetrack, but it is not high grip whatsoever. This track known for being an absolute cheese grater. A driver that we've known that's been great at saving tire all season long. He's your championship leader. It is Kyle Terzak, so look for him. I think you'd have been looking for him to be up front anyways, but he's got probably a little bit of an extra advantage here this weekend. This track's also very unique in that the apexes are a little bit different from 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is nearly a double apex. You kind of use that curve to help you turn, and then 3 and 4 is kind of more straightforward, but you got to be careful, Gavin, because there's almost a water grate, a grate for drainage of water, that if you hit it just wrong on the exit of turn 4 can snap you loose pretty quick. So this is quite a technical track, a track with a lot of character, and I think that'll show in the racing this evening.
Yeah, really technical. That's the thing that I don't think I'm great at here, and I didn't even know until you pointed it out that the track isn't symmetrical. I didn't know that until just now.
It looks like it. It really does look like it, but the minute you start racing it, it is not. You can see Kyle Terzak with quite a massive margin back behind to Christian Peterson, who currently runs second in the overall championship. Terzak, it's pretty much his to take from this point on, but he has not officially locked it up by points counter yet, but most likely after tonight he will have that. We'll get you the official word probably next race. Christian Peterson, though, looking to lock up second. He was the champion 1 season ago, so second is not too shabby. Jake Grout, he has been consistent. Only one finish outside of the top 5. Yavin, that was 2 weeks ago back at Bristol, or I guess it was 3 weeks ago. We did not race on Valentine's Day. It was 3 weeks before that. Brandon Atkinson, he's done a great job as well as Christopher Shepard, 2 drivers that have run fairly consistently within the mid-pack this season. They've had some good bouts, but great job for them to get up in the top 5.
Yeah, you look at this points battle right here, and like we talked about, Kyle Terzak has it all but locked up, but he still has to have some strong performances here at the end of the season. And as I look right now at the qualifying standings, I think he is our fastest qualifier.
He is so far. Last lap, his best lap, a 15.489, just a couple of hundredths faster than the 171 of Christian Peterson, just about 6 hundredths faster than Christian. And then we got Tanner Berge rounding out the top 3. Glad to see the 35 back and making another start. Gavin, you were here last week for Lanier, and I was sadly missing it, and we'll get to talk about it and all the action leading up into this week. We're going to have a 4-car invert this evening, so Terzak will start from the 4th position on the outside row. Christian Peterson will start in 3rd inside of the 2nd row. In front of them, it will be Tanner Berge starting in 2nd, and Wyatt Dent starting on pole position. Excuse me, that's Brandon Atkinson. Dent is not up there. He's mixed around on my timing screen. Now we go back from normal from there on out. It is a 5th place starting position for Greggy Long. Then it is 6th for the 49 of Jake Grout. Behind them in row number 4, Aiden Millett in the 9, as well another car in the 9 starting to his outside. The 9 of Jace Hale still start 8th. Then rounding out the top 10, Landon Atkins in the 11, and Evan Hassler, last week's winner, will start 10th.
Yeah, starting 11th is Thomas Dean with Brandon Elvis on his outside in 12th. 13th is Christopher Shepard in the 19 car with Michael Westman in the 74. 15th position is Colt Martin with Trevor Ward on his outside. Wyatt Dent starts 17th in the 68 car with Caleb Hunt in 18th. And 19th, rounding out the field, is Kyle Adams in the 24. He did not post a qualifying lap.
So, we'll see if Kyle will make a start this evening. He's been race controlling for pretty much most of the season, so we'll see if he joins up and we'll have an 18 or 9 car field. Let me go ahead and check myself, Gavin. It is a invert of 6. They did a second roll, and the roll was for 2, so they added to their numbers, so that means that Jake Grout will eventually move his way up to the starting spot. So, they're dealing with something on their end, so Gavin, we'll get to chat. Let's talk about Lanier. Let's talk about 1 week ago. You said it was kind of a tame race up until the end.
Yeah, it was really tame up until the end. Everybody just kind of settled in line, and then strategy came into play there at the end, and it got crazy. We had a three-way battle for the lead for probably 15 or 20 laps. Then it came down to tires. New tires prevailed at the end in one of the closest finishes I can remember seeing on iRacing, and it was just a spectacular race.
Doesn't get much closer than 27 thousandths. It was that close between the two, Evan Hassler and Kyle Turzak. I mean, even with Kyle Turzak not getting the win, it continues to show us just how talented he really is. And I think that's what a lot of people have seen throughout the season. He made sparks last season. He made sparks. He won 10 times. So he didn't just make sparks. He absolutely made hay. But this season, with him competing for the full season, only missing 2 races, it has been the Kyle Turzak show.
Yeah, I think he's sitting at 9 wins right now, so he's looking to tie his win total from last year. He could totally do that tonight.
Could absolutely do that for Kyle Turzak. It's something that's on the cards, and it would be crazy to see if he was able to get that. I believe, let's see, I'm not seeing the win counter. I believe it is, yeah, it's 9 wins. You're correct. It is 9 wins, so he'll start 6th tonight. He did post the fastest time, but again, the invert will be a 6, so he'll start back from the 6th position. But Gavin, it won't be the first time he's had to work back from the 6th or so spot, and he usually has always found his way towards the front. Yeah, we got 3 races left to go, and so he could set the record once again for most wins in a season in the Misfit Touring Series. And we got next week, 1 week from now, we've got the final of the Triple Crown Showdown races. It'll be at Richmond, and that'll be more than 100 laps. 100 laps is how many we're running tonight. Again, like we've done all season, no extra tire sets available. You got what you got up under you. 3 green, white checkered attempts, open setups as always. It's not always just about the driver, it's a bit about the car as well. Gavin, what do you expect?
I expect pure chaos, honestly, tonight. I think the invert being 6 instead of 4 is going to create just a little bit more urgency at the start of the race, especially seeing that it is only 100 laps, and this is a short track, so this is going to be a quick race, and I think it's going to be frantic right from the drop.
It definitely could fly by just like that. You never know what's on the cards. You never know what's on the table. Pace truck pulls into pit lane. 100 laps set to be run. We are green at Langley for round 13 of the Misfit Touring Series. Atkinson slides inside Greggy Long. They make a little door contact, center at 3 and 4. Tires are still cold. Lap 1 complete. Grout holds the lead. More contact between Atkinson and Greggy Long.
Yeah, Grout did a really good job there through that first lap and a half, just rolling the bottom, trying to create a little bit of space for the cars behind him while they're battling for position.
Look at this. Kyle Turzak stuck on the outside, being passed by Aiden Millette, now being passed by Landon Atkins. Has not been able to find a hold down. And here's his common foe from last week, 38, Evan Hassler. He's going to go right on by.
Yeah, this is what you got to do if you're these drivers that don't have a win yet this year or haven't really ran up front that much. You see the guy who has dominated the series. You cannot let him get to the bottom. You got to make him use up his tires, and you got to make him fight to get around you.
New leader, Brandon Atkinson, going to lead fairly quick, gets around teammate. Well, he goes with teammate Christian Peterson, pulls him through. They both make the pass on Jake Grout. So that 15 trick chassis, 15 of Brandon Atkins to the lead. And look at this, falling back, the 49 of Jake Grout. Now he's stuck on the outside, just like Turzak was.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where you cannot afford to get stuck on the outside. Grout is going to be trying his best to get down to the bottom. He's got room right here to get to the bottom. He's going to get into the wall a little bit, but there he goes. He makes it. He's down to the bottom, and we're single file pretty far through the field.
Gavin, sometimes we see this outside line be fairly viable at Langley Speedway. You can make hay on the top, but I think the reason being is, A, we're early in the run, tires are cold, but as well as we see Landon Atkins looking inside of Grout this time, track temperature near 120 degrees. So the track is so very slick that it is nearly impossible to get a great run on the outside. Just The momentum on the inside is just too good. The grip is too good as comparison to that outside line. Here we go. Terzak, now he's looking to make up some spots. Grout continues to plummet. Now he's back from first. He's in 8th and might be 9th.
Yeah, I mean, he went from leading this race to just falling like a rock. As you were talking about how slick this track is with it being hot. Even the inside line is probably slick for these guys, and they're probably all saving a little bit, tiptoeing around here, just trying to get a good feel for the car.
Well, with the track being so hot, it is going to make saving an even greater importance, something you're going to have to keep in mind all evening long. All right, the pace right now is a 16.1. That was the last lap last time by for Brandon Atkins. This time by, it was nearly the exact same, just a couple thousandths difference. He is choosing how fast this pack is going to run. His best lap of 15.9, so only 0.2 slower than his best lap. Gavin, the question is that too fast?
You know, I don't think it is, because everyone behind him is having to keep up with him. So they're having to push just as hard as he is to keep the car, you know, competitive with him, so he can dictate how hard everyone else drives. If he wants to drive a little bit harder, the guys that want to keep up with him, they'll drive harder to keep up with him. But I think he's just driving at, I would say, 85, 90% of what he's capable of right now, which I think that's pretty good.
Saving your right front, really important here at Langley Speedway. It's so difficult when that right front starts to go to rotate these corners with the track being so very flat. Here we go. Here's another pass. Brandon Elvis inside of Landon Atkins. Elvis started back in the 12th spot. He's up to 10th. Breaking into the top 10 is that 54. Here comes the 74 of Michael Wiseman. He wants to make a look to the inside, but he's not there just yet on Atkins. Oh, he's going to give him a tap, and they're both going to get a little sideways as Wiseman checks up. Didn't want to spin the 11. It's an EOL if you cause a caution. So Wiseman didn't want to make a go of that this early.
Yeah, but not only did Wiseman get into the car in front of him, he had to heat up that right front even more because he was trying to save the car. He threw it in a little deep, but he had to slam on the brakes to keep that contact from being any worse. So now his car's going to be probably a little angry with him for the next few laps. Let's see if he can get it calmed back down under him, or if he's going to be fighting the conditions of this race for the next little bit.
Riding along with the 21 of Greggy Long, making his 6th start this season in the Season 3 of the Misfit Touring Series. His best finish is a 6th place back at Southern National Motorsports Park at the beginning of this year, coming to the close of January. But Greggy Long, he's looking very strong at Langley.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder, because he has a best finish of 6th this year. With him running in the top 3, is he pushing a little bit too hard, or is this truly some good pace that we see from Long here today?
That's something that you and I will just have to continue to keep an eye on, because I don't think it'll be till probably lap 50 or 60 where we'll really see guys that did abuse their stuff start to have massive problems and start to move slowly farther and farther backwards. Still, Brandon Atkins took the lead fairly early, about lap 4 or 5, and he's held it ever since. Gotta imagine him and Christian Peterson working together, two teammates, holding off the 21 of Greggy Long and continuing to dictate this pace. I wouldn't be surprised, Gavin, if there isn't some coaching from Peterson, last season's champion, to the young Brandon Atkins. But as I say that, it looks like Peterson might be looking inside for the lead. Gave a look there out of 2.
You know, he's the more experienced of the two teammates, especially in this league, so maybe he wants to be the one out front dictating the pace. That way this team feels a little bit more in control with, you know, an experienced guy out front.
A little bit
As we have
sideways.
3 wide.
3 wide. Looks like it's right in front of Jace Hale. This is around with Evan Hassler, Kyle Terzak, Aiden Millette, Tanner Berge's in the mix of it as well. This is the fight from 4th to 7th, so right behind the lead pack of 3 we saw as we continue to watch this battle between Terzak and Millette. Peterson looked inside of Atkins, but is not there. Millette under fire. Terzak is near sideways. Here comes Millette. He's looking back under, throws it way down low. Terzak tries to block it.
Looks like a little bit of contact there.
Well, and here's the thing. Here we go. Another crossover from the 15. He's nearing the grass. He is in the grass with those left sides. This is a hard contact battle. More contact. The 15 to the 9. 15 to Terzak straightens up Millet. Millet still fighting it off of 4. He's got to be angry.
Yeah, this is when you got to realize this is a 100-lap race. Yeah, that's a short race in the scheme of things, but we're not even a third of the way through. You got to get to the finish on these tires, so calm down, get your car cooled back off, and be there at the end.
These two drivers, Terzak and Millet, both very young drivers. A lot of talent behind the wheel in real life and in the sim, but both sometimes a little young, and you got to remember that. Millet, I think he wants to perform well here tonight because this is his home racetrack. This is where he competes the most in real life racing when it comes to limited late models and late model stock cars. So this is his home track and he does not want to be beat by it. I think that's why you might have seen some extra aggression from him in his defense, 15 of Terzak. Three-car battle, still with the lead, all running in line. Gavin, it looked like Peterson was looking inside his teammate Atkinson early on. Kind of gave it up a little bit, though.
Yeah, I think they see the cars behind him starting to clip into that gap just a little bit. The gap was around 2 seconds, and Terzak's cut it down to about 1 second and 3/4 here. So he's closing in just a little bit, so they need to be single file, not heating their tires up, and just making as consistent of laps as possible to get to the end.
Yeah, if I'm Atkinson, I'm saying, all right, Peterson, what are we doing? Are we riding together or are we fighting? Because if I can be confident that he's right there but we're not fighting, I can run dead on lap times consistently to what I need. But if I think you might be making a move as Atkins, he's going to make a move this time as Peterson, because Atkins made a mistake off of 3. Hit the wall out of 2 and into 3, so the door was left open for Peterson. 171, he is looking inside this time. He is inside.
Yeah, Peterson's there. Atkinson really slid the car through 1 and 2 there, and that just allowed Peterson to get alongside and roll the bottom in 1 and 2.
Greggy Long trying to follow Peterson through. Atkinson tried to close the door. He'll try again in 3, but Long is there, and he will not concede.
Yeah, Greggy Long following Christian Peterson right through to the lead. Atkinson, I think his car's a little angry with him. I think he got those tires too hot. He needs to settle in right now.
Long also a little sideways out of turn 2, but was able to follow Peterson through when the hole was open on the 15. Now if you're Atkinson, you got to reset, settle those tires back down, calm yourself down, and mount a charge when the time is right. The question is, Gavin, what is the right time?
I think we're just going to have to wait and find out with these guys because the track is so hot. I think the tire wear is going to be even more extreme than we are used to, and it's going to be even harder to cool the tires off. If we get a caution, the track being 120 degrees, you're not going to be able to get these tires as cool as you could normally.
Tire wear, heat, all playing a massive factor in this race. Already 40 laps complete. We're 10 away from halfway. Riding along with the 38 of Evan Hassler, again, won last week at Lanier. It was a side-by-side, nose-to-nose battle to the line between these two drivers, him and Kyle Terzak. Just a moment ago, Hassler was a little less than a second behind Terzak, and he has caught right on up.
Yeah, as I'm looking at lap times right now, everybody's kind of running 5s all the way through the top 6. The fastest lap was a 49, and the slowest was a 57.
So nearing a second of fall off before the 50 lap mark, before the halfway mark. That is an aggressive amount of tire fall off. Look at this. Evan Hassler is right on the rear bumper of Terzak, looking to make a move, but he has not thought to make the move yet. But man, they are like two trains coupled together. Oh, and Hassler, he's going to get all the way on the apron, nearly got loose there. It seemed like he got loose on entry to the corner, Gavin. It kind of shot him down to the apron, but it looked like he kind of found more grip down there.
Yeah, to me, it almost looked like it was somewhat intentional as he's going to do it again. he's using almost all of the apron. That is an aggressive move, but it works for him, so he's going to get around Terzak.
You know, normally at Langley here, you use that curbing to actually loosen your car up, because in a night race here, the right front, it's easy to lose it and get the car tight. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Hassler is using that below apron area, because that part of the racing surface, the apron, is a lot cooler than where the bottom lane is.
Yeah, that might be. That wouldn't surprise me.
So Christopher Shepard currently running in the 15th spot. He's currently 4th in your overall championship standings, trying to hold that position. And look in front of them, it's Wyatt Dent edging right on the back bumper of Trevor Ward. It was a bit of a moment there for the 68 of Wyatt Dent on entry into one. A lot of two-car packs, little two-car breakaways all around right now, and it looks like Christian Peterson, he's one of the only people that are not in a two-car pack. He is 1 second in front of Greggy Long as the battle is back on for second position between Long and Atkinson. Atkinson looked inside for a moment, was not able to complete it off of turn 2. So Long might be experiencing some new troubles of his own. Saw it a lap from the stands as a fan, and look at this. Wow, what a move. Greggy Long back up under the 15 of Atkinson. They are touching wheels. This is close battling. This is what happens when you get two cars on asphalt that is so slick, and they're loose already, both into the wall.
Yeah, and all that's doing is allowing these two cars behind them to catch up, and looks like they're going to try to go right through. Look at Hassler.
And they are. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe Atkinson pulled that hole. Now he pulls to the inside of Hassler.
Atkinson got into Hassler a little bit there. He's going to move him back up the track, get the preferred line, but I think his tires are not near in as good of condition as Hassler is. He is fighting as hard as he can right now, maybe fighting too hard as we're just past halfway through, and now he's playing both offense and defense with Terzak behind him.
Gavin, I could not believe that he even thought about moving into that hole, because if you thought that hole was small, it was just enough to fit his nose and bumper between Hassler and Terzak. I have never seen quite a move, and it could have gone wrong with just an inch wrong on either side of his race car, front or rear. Terzak was playing a little bit nice with him, and Atkins is in a Hassler and Terzak sandwich, and now Greggy Long, he's wide. Hassler, he'll move on through. This is the fight for second. This is second through fifth.
Is it just me or did Terzak almost take it 3 wide there? Is he thinking about
thought
3
about
wide?
it. And I would too at this point. It looks like Atkinson and Long are kind of playing games with each other. This is honestly a dangerous spot for Terzak. They're not racing smart.
No, they're not. Atkinson and Long, their cars are in bad shape right now. As I'm looking at the ticker, and Tanner Berge is closing in on this battle too. So the 18 and the 21 cars are a little bit off on speed right now, as we got one really loose.
That was Long. He just sent it right on the inside of Terzak. Did not have the grip to be able to hold the bottom. Slid right into the 15. Was able to save himself. Now the 15 used that momentum right to the inside of Atkinson. Seems like now the 59 lap mark, around lap 60, is when we said we were going to see tires start to affect these drivers that used it up early. That is exactly what you're seeing.
Yeah, I don't know if you were watching Greggy Long that whole lap, but I think he just drifted all 4 corners, and he is just fighting for his life right now.
Well, and you said it earlier, with him having his best finish be a 6th place finish, was he using it up a little bit early? And I think you could confidently answer the question of yes now. He has fallen back to 6th place behind Tanner Berge, and Aiden Millett's going to go right around him as well. So it's back to 7th, and Jace Hale could take another spot from him as well. Behind Aiden Millett, we've got a massive train of cars all hanging out together. It's Millett, Long, Hale, Elvis, and Grout. Cars 6th all the way to 10th. Landon Atkins just a little behind it. Here we go. Look at this. Jake Grout, he wants to move back forward. Oh, as we got a
they're
spin on
gonna
Hale
turn.
into the 21 of Long. Caution is out for the first time today on lap 63.
Oh, be careful.
And Long, nearly collecting cars around him.
Yeah, he backed right down in front of traffic. Wow.
So first caution of the day comes out, and it's Greggy Long, and I believe Jace Hale. I think he got into the back of him here on the entry of 3, and let's see if that was the case. Yeah,
Yep.
Just a tap from Hale, and I can't say I'm too surprised that
Get a
Long
little
went
bit of damage
around
there too.
with how loose he was.
Yeah, Greggy was just, I think he just backed into that corner really early because of the way the car was handling, and I don't think Hale was ready for it because he hadn't been racing around him all race long. So we're going to ride along with Jace here, see what happens.
You can already see the closing right there from entry to turn 1, and yeah, just Long is trying to...
They just braked at 2 different points.
Yeah, Long's trying to back up his corner there because he knows he's gotten so loose that if he tries to send it in, he's just going to slide right on up the track. EOL is going to be given to Jace Hale for that, so he will have to go to the end of the longest line. And normally, Gavin, when we'd get a caution like this, we'd see pit stops, but there's no need. You don't have any extra tires.
No, and now you were talking about who saved their tires, who used them up too much early. Well, we're about to find out.
Who is the big winner of this caution?
Kyle Terzak.
Honestly, I was going to say Evan Hassler. Same with Kyle Terzak. Both two in the same there because Christian Peterson had nearly a 2-second lead on the both of them. So this is probably the biggest detriment to the 171 of Christian Peterson.
Yeah, I don't think Hassler is necessarily the winner here because he's going to restart on the outside. And we saw at the start of the race what starting on the outside does.
That is an excellent point.
We saw Jake Trout get freight trained all the way to the back of the top 10 from the pole.
They did, and that's a great point about Hassler. We'll see if maybe Hassler can maybe change that. Not going green this time with lights still on the pace car. We are doubling it up. You'll see this. Does this also give Atkinson a chance to cool it down? Could we see an attack from him?
I think he's going to try. The way he was racing early, he's going to try.
Atkinson will not go down without a fight. I think this is also a big win as well for Aiden Millette. Was a little farther back from 5th place Tanner Berge, so he's going to close up to that group and maybe could be in the fight for a possible top 5 at his real-life home racetrack. Lights out on the pace car this time. So can Evan Hassler find a way to get to the bottom line, or will Kyle Terzak surge right on through as Gavin believes? I would say our odds are probably 80-20, and they fall in your favor, Gavin, but you never know what can happen because this is racing. So, pace truck to the pit lane. We will have 32 laps remaining. We are back green. Already a great jump. Yep, exactly. And Terzak going to follow him right on through. Hassler going to get bumped to the outside. Look at Tanner Berge. He looked inside. Elvis has to check up. Huge check up on the inside line.
Well, Scott, I think we were both right. Terzak took advantage of it, but Hassler maintained his position in the top 3. There's a spin in the back.
That is Landon Atkins in the 11. Christopher Shepard is involved. Looks like the 4 of Colt Martin is involved as well. Might have been from that stack up through. Watch here on the entry to 3. It's a bit of a stack up here behind the 35 Tanner Berge. And watch back just behind Christopher Shepard. I think that's where this. Oh, and there we go. Yep, you can see it. And then people just not checking up in time as a massive hit from Trevor Ward into the 11. Yeah, just people not being able to see it in time. I think we were so close to each other, Gavin, there that drivers could only see the bumper in front of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to add this on additionally. This track looks pretty small on this broadcast, but when you are in the sim, in the race car, this track is tiny.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go, no time to think.
No, there's definitely not a lot of room, especially in 3 and 4, but we found our way to an incident in 1 and 2. What do they say, Gavin?
Cautions breed cautions.
Yes, they do. And if they continue to do so, I think it would be to the advantage of Christian Peterson. But we'll just have to see what continues to go on here this evening. So, looks like Caleb Hunt, he is going to come into the pit lane this time. I didn't see him involved in the wreck. I saw him just in front of it. Atkins will also join into the pit lane. Grout will come in. He's going to have an EOL for the cause of that incident. We saw Trevor Ward come in. Thomas Dean came in, as well as Jace Hale. So a couple drivers choosing this time to come into the pit lane, maybe try to fix some damage. There's always time to fix damage, Gavin.
There always is.
So Christian Peterson has 2 wins this season. Hassler has 1, and then there's Kyle Terzak with 9. Do you think Christian Peterson can get back to victory lane? He has not won since the 3rd race of this season.
Well, he's in a really good spot being on the bottom for this restart. And we saw Kyle Terzak get around Hassler on the bottom. Now we got to wonder, can Hassler get back around Terzak on the bottom? Or is the speed in the 15 car going to allow him to stay up front?
Well, I mean, let's say what you said on the initial start about Jake Grout. Same can be said for Kyle Terzak, who fell back to about the 9th spot. All right, green flag back in the air. Let's restart it again. Let's try it again. Good start from Christian Peterson again, but Terzak going to try to force himself inside, and Hassler is going to say, no, you're not coming down inside. I am here. I've got my nose there. Peterson is going to fall back behind the 35 of Berge. He's stuck outside.
Yeah, now Terzak's,
Gavin.
Yeah, now he's stuck on the outside. And look at Tanner Berge. That's a driver, I don't think we've mentioned him all race long. I wonder how much he saved his tires, and if he's going to be able to make better lap time than these 2 cars in front of him as Hassler's blinking now.
Tanner Berge, just 1 win in the Misfit Touring Series. It came in Season 1. He's also a winner in the Summer Series, but it's been quite a while since he has seen victory lane within the Misfit Racing League. Here we go. Kyle Terzak looking back inside Aiden Millett. He's going to give him a door right up the track. Millett won't be too privy to that. He's going to get him right back into the wall. Millett drifting it through turn 3 after a tap from behind from Wiseman.
What a save by Millett.
Seriously, but I mean, if that didn't happen from Wiseman, I would have been sure to you that he would have absolutely given something back to Terzak, because, I mean, Terzak just drove him into the wall.
Yeah, Terzak is fast, but he's angry right now. He was start on the outside of the front row on this restart, and this is something that he's not used to having to deal with this season, and that's traffic. He's sitting in 5th. Yeah, and that's not the first time I don't think these 2 have gotten into each other, as there's another spin. Greggy Long.
That's
a long
That's
night
what
for
I was referencing to. And Greggy Long, he is around out of turn number 4. Broadside on the front straightaway. See what happened to the 21. Oh, it looks like Jace Hale's back to him. Again, there was no malice last time they had contact. Just a difference of braking markers. And let's see if anything comes from Jace Hale here this time. Yeah, tap through 3 and 4. So same thing, different quarter, Gavin.
Yeah, we were talking just a second ago about 2 drivers who had been into it twice this race, and now we're going to get to see that one more time again.
A new pairing of that.
Yeah.
Well, oh man, I was going to do the math. I thought for a second it was Atkinson and Terzak, because I was going to say both of their car numbers add up to 30. But Millett and the 15 of Terzak do not add up to 30. I believe that's 24. Well, doing a little math.
I'm glad you can count, Scott.
Hey, thank you. That's probably about all I can do. I'll take my communications and journalism degree, and I'll be happy about calling races all my life. I'll leave the math to the rest of my good friends. So, Christian Peterson still retains the lead, and honestly, I think it's going to be a very difficult notion for Terzak to be able to get up and be fighting for this lead with that aggressive move he tried to pull on Hassler last restart.
Yeah, look who's starting behind him.
Yeah, that's probably an aid in the issue.
They can't get away from each other.
No, and again, you got to be careful, because again, Kyle Adams does not want just retaliation racing. That is not what we do here at the Misfit Racing League. But trust and believe that I believe Aiden Millett will try to give him everything he can without spinning him out, because, I mean, you saw what Turzak did last time, and again, that Turzak may not have done all that intentionally. I don't really think he did, but it's a matter of the fact that it still happened, and that scuffle with Millett could be something that very much takes him out of this fight for the win. You said look at Tanner Berge, had he been saving tire? Well, he is in a prime position inside of the second row to be able to scoot on by that bright pink car of Hassler, and maybe he could have something for the 171 of Christian Peterson. Is going to be 14 laps to go this time by. We are coming down to the wire. Let's go green. And already Turzak looking 3 wide inside of Berge. There we go, Millett gets right into the back of him, and the 15 is going to get straightened back up, but a caution will come out.
Ooh, and you were talking about Kyle Adams and race control running a tight ship here. I don't think he's going to be very happy right now.
No, and the only thing I'll say about that is it looked like the 35 of Berge spun the tires on the start, so it was a bit of a stack up between him and Turzak. Look at them. They're all really tight right here. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough position because, I mean, Millett was just right there, and they were all kind of stacked up through the restart and into turn 1.
Yeah, and you're in a position
at this
where if
point,
you're Millett, you can't really let out of it because Jace Hale's right there behind you.
Yep. So we weren't, I don't think we were expecting retaliation, but I don't think we were expecting it to kind of come from something like that, come from the stack up this on the nose of Millett. Yeah, I mean, just 2 drivers, bumpers so close together. And I mean, yeah, it happened on the brakes. It wasn't even like Millett gassed it up to give him a bumper. Interesting decision. It looks like Millett will be given the EOL. And I can't say I'm surprised about that. I mean, it does start from there, but I think it was more of a stack up rather than Millett trying to go for something and quote unquote get back at Turzak.
Yeah, but all that's doing is the laps are just ticking closer and closer to 100, and Christian Peterson is getting closer and closer to another trip, his first trip in a long time, to Victory Lane.
Last time he did visit Victory Lane, it was at Martinsville Speedway, round 3 of the season, and that was November 28th. It was Thanksgiving weekend. So it's been quite a while since Christian Peterson has been to Victory Lane in the Misfit Touring Series in season number 3. So that is, I think, yeah, that is exactly 3 months from today. Good shout, Morgan Cook. Excellent producer, and he's a great mathematician with the calendar.
Best mathematician in the booth.
Hey, there we go. And it's not setting the bar by much, but we'll give him his props for sure. All right, green flag back in the air. 10 laps to go. Can Christian Peterson cap it off and get his 3rd win of the season?
Really good job by Evan Hassler getting to the bottom there. He wants to go 2 for 2 in the last 2 races.
Another poor start for Tanner Berge on the inside. Just spun the tires once more. Look at Michael Wiseman. He was back outside the top 10, before we got that first caution, and now he's in the top 4. Season 1 of the Touring Series, he was a championship competitor. He's the Summer Series champion from Season 1. So Wiseman, he's not someone to overlook at a late stage in the race. Laps still coming down. We're going to have 6 to go next time by.
Yeah, look at Jace Hale entering the top 5. He spent most of this race outside the top 10.
He's gotten 2 EOLs.
Yeah, he's got 2 EOLs, so the amount of cars he's passed is definitely higher than we can count.
Look at this. Trevor Ward inside of the 15 of Brandon Atkins. And there we go.
Oh.
It's Landon Atkins into the back of Turzak. Same thing, different corner once more. And it's a bigger stack up into turn 4. Millett gets a tag from behind. He'll go around 2. Oh my goodness. And we are going to go to overtime.
There is an angry Kyle Turzak in his sim rig right now.
There's an angry Kyle Adams as well in race control booth. And just another
sandwiched
difference of braking.
Yeah, he was sandwiched between 2 cars going very different speeds, and they got into him from both directions.
Yeah, Wyatt Dent, you'll see it next lap by. Just braking early. Terzak tries to check up, get on the brakes, and Atkins can't see, but, you know, one car in front of him, and that's Terzak. Looks like Jake Grout also gets a bit of a melee here as well. Oh, just a near tag from the rear bumper. And he goes right in front of Millette. Millette starts to check up, and it looks like the 19 of Christopher Shepard lifted up the rear of Millette. That's what put the 9 around.
Yeah, and the guys
that is the slowest spin I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the guys that were in that wreck, those have been the guys that seems like everything is falling against their will tonight. I mean, Terzak, Greggy Long, 49, Jake Grout, everybody involved there has just had problem after problem tonight. Some being car performance related and some just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, in every start this season, Kyle Terzak has won until last week at Lanier, where he finished second, and that is his worst finish, is second place. And tonight could very much change that. Terzak is back in 17th. And what was nearly a perfect season for him could completely go awry tonight. We're going to have our first of 3 green, white, checkered attempts, so it'll be 2 to go when we drop the green. Christian Peterson, he's been on play all night. Can he capitalize now? 2 to go. Another stack up. Elvis is going around. We're going to have another caution. We're going to have another restart. Elvis. Excuse me, that was a natural green white checker. Thank you, Morgan Cook. So we will have 3 opportunities in actual overtime.
Well, I think as many wrecks we're having tonight, I think Oprah Winfrey is the one handing out incident points right now.
Look at this. Watch the 15 here. Atkinson honestly just kind of drives into the 54.
Just misjudged it. I mean, it's the 2 to go and you're driving hard and just misjudged it.
Honestly, probably just got distracted there because, I mean, he just kept going. So Elvis, in what was a fairly quiet night for him, gets turned around late in the going, and I'm glad we made that note. That was a natural green-white checkered, so that would have been us completing the race naturally at lap 100. But now we'll start to eat into our 3 attempts at green-white checkered. And honestly, Gavin, at this point, as long as Christian Peterson gets a good restart, it's going to be very difficult for anyone else to get to him. And I think the only 2 in question are Hassler and Berge. But Hassler is in a bad position being on the outside, and it seems like Berge can't get a good restart to stay with Peterson.
No, and Christian Peterson, I've noticed as soon as they get to the restart zone, he goes. He's been going as early as he can in the restart zone, and that's a great play because these 2 laps, they're going to be fast. 30 seconds after the green flag's out, and this race is going to be over.
Do you switch it up? Do you change that, Gavin, or do you stay with what you know?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. It has worked for him every restart tonight. Why do something different?
I love it. Let's see if that's the call. We doubled them up. Lights are off on the pace truck. 18 cars still remain in this race, and everyone is still on the lead lap. So you never know. We could use all our green-white checkers, but this is the first of 3. It's Peterson, Hassler, Berge, and Wiseman. Green flag back in the air, and just like you said, Gavin, there goes Peterson. And there goes Berge. Best restart of the night from the second row. Oh, Wiseman's going to get Hassler. He'll spin him around. Field behind checks up, and we're going to have another stack up out of turn 2.
And look who is in third.
Jay Sale.
He's had 2 EOLs and has made his way to the top 3. He's going to be right behind the leader on the inside row of our second overtime.
Here we go. It was a great jump by Berge, his best all night. And yeah, Wiseman just gets into the back of Hassler. Nearly straightens him up. Oh my goodness.
And Terzak again.
Oh.
Heavy damage.
The night
that was him that got clipped. That was him that got clipped out of 2. Oh, and Ward turning around the 38 car
It
there.
looked like Hasler got turned a second time. We got a lot to break down here. So let's see this. Watch the orange car of Trevor Ward. He gets tagged from behind by Grout. He gets straightened up as well. I mean, oh my gosh, Terzak just
they're
slammed
3
into the
wide.
outside wall.
Turned back in.
Oh,
He
yeah.
fires the
That will not be
doesn't
looked
look
kindly
good.
upon.
And he
that's
didn't even do anything to you. Like,
no.
that's
Kind of ridiculous if we're going to call it how it is.
yeah. I'll let you
That'll
say
be looked at.
I'll
and
let
that'll
you
be-
say
no.
it.
A lot of things to be looked over by race control after this. Man, you got to believe we had 63 laps green.
Oh.
It was a great run. It was a great run.
Like you said, at some point around lap 70, cautions breed cautions.
Hey, and
And,
who were the two people that we said were going to benefit from that? It was Hassler and Terzak, and now Hassler's in 7th and Terzak's in 17th. So really, no matter what, it seems like the beneficiary was going to be Christian Peterson, who's had control of this race.
Well, when you said cautions, when I said cautions breed cautions, I was thinking, 2 or 3, but these cautions have been like bunny rabbits. I think we're on like 74.
74, Michael Wiseman.
7.
He was the one who started that last one. But 7
Yeah.
is the official count, and all of them coming after lap 62.
Well, the good news is we cannot have more than 9.
It's very true. It's absolutely true. Lights are back on in the pace car. We are doubled up, however. Only 2 more attempts at a green-white checkered finish, and after that, no matter what happens, this race will end.
Well, Scott, as we're coming to the
I don't even know what to ask you at this point, Gavin. It seems like you got things to ask me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you as we're coming on to go, who's in the best spot right here? Is it the leader?
Christian Peterson.
Is it the car
Absolutely.
in third?
I'll answer you before you can finish.
Okay. Yeah.
Morgan Cook said race control. I don't even think that's
I
true.
think
I think
he's in
Kyle
the-
Adams has had his hands.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Greg Elon
Uh,
is DQ'd. I assume maybe incident points.
Most likely incident points. But hey, to your question, Gavin, I think Christian Peterson having control of this race has been a key factor all evening long. I think he might be the only person in this
Trevor
field
Ward
that
was
probably has
DQ'd.
0 incidents. Trevor Ward has been DQ'd, but all of that is back in the rear windshield. Everything's out the front now. Christian Peterson, green flag is out, second attempt at overtime. Berge going to fall into line fairly quickly.
Yeah, and he changed it up that time. He went a little bit later and caught him off guard.
Huge smash into the wall for Wyatt Dent as well as Jake Grout, but we remain green and we'll take the white flag. No matter what, this race is official. Tanner Berge, he's about 3/10 behind the 171 of Christian Peterson, but it won't be enough. He took control early in the going. He hasn't won since November back at Martinsville, but put Christian Peterson back in victory lane in the Misfit Touring Series. He's victorious at Langley.
What a win by Christian Peterson. And another thing, with as good of a race as he ran, I think he was the only car tonight to not be in a major incident.
I would say I would
One
fully
of them,
agree with you.
anyway.
I think he was probably the only one, and it ended up being a 13th finishing spot for Kyle Terzak, so his worst finish of the season. Evelyn Hassler was able to remain in 7th after getting spun on that first overtime. But what a conclusion to this night. Christian Peterson, I think he was the only not surprised of just being able to remain up front and remain strong. And look at this, Tanner Berge so happy with the second place, he's going to do a little bit of a burnout.
Hey, I don't blame him.
So we got
Have
three.
fun with it.
Have fun with it. We got 3 great people to talk to when we get back from commercial break. But we'll be back to you with those interviews and your final results. Don't go anywhere, viewers. We're going to have some fun times.
champion Bryce Shoemaker is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win. Saturday Night Racing lead in throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Welcome back, race fans, and what a wild night it was. Started out calm, just like Lanier, but it ended in chaos. Christian Peterson was able to pick up his third win of the season, first in 3 months to the date. Tanner Berge comes up just short with a second place, but was happy enough to do a little burnout. Jace Hale, after 2 EOLs on the evening, finishes in third. Wyatt Dent, who started 17th, is your biggest mover on the night, up 13th spot, finishing fourth. Fifth place for Landon Atkins, one of his few top fives of the season. Congratulations for Landon. Aiden Millette rebounds to finish in sixth place. Then it was Hassler in seventh, Brandon Elvis in eighth, Colt Martin in ninth, and Brandon Atkinson rounding out your top 10.
Jake Grout finished 11th with Christopher Shepard in 12th, Kyle Terzak 13th, Michael Wiseman 14th, Caleb Hunt 15th, Thomas Dean 16th was the last car on the lead lap. Trevor Ward and Greggy Long rounded out the field laps down, and Kyle Adams, our race control, started the race.
So, that is all, and that is done. Let's talk to your winner. Let's bring in Christian Peterson. Christian, it has been quite a while since you've been to Victory Lane. 3 months to the date, pointed out by our producer, Morgan Cook. I bet you're happy.
Yeah, definitely. That was fun, man. Getting all those green flag laps early and then just getting into a rhythm and then having the adrenaline rush of all those cautions there at the end. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think the last one was, I don't know, North Wilkesboro, I believe, but
Martinsville.
Martinsville, yep. So I think we got 2 in a row. Terzak didn't show up, but he had a bad night tonight, so we'll take advantage of that.
Well, I think you're probably hoping that would have happened probably a little earlier in the season. But again, a win is a win nonetheless. When you have a green flag, such a long green flag run like that, and then you start to get all those cautions, the first one, were you nervous that it was going to affect you because it was Hassler and Terzak right behind you? But at the end of the night, it seemed like at the end of it, you were the beneficiary actually.
I mean, Brandon Elvis put such a good car under me. Like, it was just, I honestly haven't felt a race car that good. I know we kind of got out front early and were able to control the race, so that helped. But I mean, I was nervous a little bit, but I knew the car was really good. So if we could just get a little bit of a gap, I thought I would have been able to pull away. But we never really got that opportunity. But still, we were able to hold them off.
Did you think, with the track being so hot, was there any concern with anybody able to get a good enough run on the outside to pass you by on the outside, or did you know that the track was just too slick?
No, I didn't think anybody could really fight on the outside. I mean, it was almost like trying to time the restarts to where you had the guy in second, like, bound up with the guy in third. You almost didn't want to clear him too much because that gave the guy in second a better run. I know Evan was there late. He seemed like he was pretty quick when we were under green. So I don't know if he didn't get spun there, if he would have had something for me, but he was pretty quick. So just want to say thanks to Bergie and all those guys that were behind me there on those restarts for running me clean. That was a lot of fun.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just like I said, Elvis with Elvis Coleman Racing, he put the setup together this week, and everybody at Trick, BA, Dan, John, Hudson, all the guys at Trick. You guys are putting on the show over at V Speed, and everybody at MRL for doing what they do to put this show on.
Well, hey, you're finally back in Victory Lane. It's great to see you back in Victory Lane. You still got 2 more races to put them in there, 2 more.
Yep, we're gonna try. I don't know if I think Terzak's got a decent lead in points, but we're gonna give her hell. This was a good track. Just want to say thanks to all the viewers out there too. I hope that was a fun race for you guys to watch. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Christian.
Thank you.
So Christian Peterson wins once again, and it's not surprising to see him back in Victory Lane, your Season 2 champion, but we're glad to see him back in Victory Lane. Now let's pull in second place Tanner Berge. He's going to get to chat with Gavin Grubbs.
Well, Tanner, you started. Oh, you got me, Tanner?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Tanner, you started third, ran most of the race towards the front, stayed out of trouble. Walk us through that last half of the race where you were just, staying out of trouble, caution after caution, restart after restart.
Yeah, basically just kind of rode around. The setup wasn't quite there this week, so I was just really hoping that basically what I was hoping played out in the end, and ended up finishing pretty good just from missing all the stuff and getting lucky starting on the insides and everything.
Yeah, and I noticed that you were a lot faster towards the end of the race than the start. How much of that was saving tires and just being ready for the end?
I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell. This place you're just sliding around the entire time. So I was just hoping for like a top 5, and then towards the end I was trying to help out Evan because Evan had a way better car than me at the end, and so I was just trying to help him get the win, but that didn't really work out that well.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, a second place finish is still really good. Another top 5 for you. Do you have anybody you want to thank, shout out, or just mention for us?
Yeah, I want to thank 47 Speed. Riley unfortunately was not able to get a setup to us this week, so Landon stepped up and built us a setup, and it was good enough to run in the top 5 of the MRL, which is pretty good.
Yeah, well, good finish, Tanner. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks.
All right, that is second place Tanner Berge. Let's get to talk to third place. That is Jace Hale. Jace Hale, you there?
I am.
There we go. Hey, it's great to talk to you. Haven't got to talk to you in quite a while, man. You had quite a wild night. 2 EOLs to a third place.
Yeah, it was definitely a wild night for sure. I don't know how I ended up in fifth at one point on a restart, but I'd look over and I'm fifth, and I was like, dang, I might have a chance here for a podium. So just went balls to the walls and sent it there.
It seemed like you and Greggy Long were just kind of magnets to each other there around the mid pack of the race. And it pretty much seemed like it was the same incident twice, just him a little bit earlier on the brakes or earlier off the gas, and you just had a later braking point.
Yeah, I think he started to burn up a little bit there toward about, like you said, midpoint in the race, and I seen him getting really loose off the corner, and I think the first time I got into him, he went really slow into 3, and I wasn't expecting it, and got into the rear end of him. And with these cars, you can't even touch them without him spinning. So that was that. And then he got loose the second time, and I tagged him. So.
Well, I know you spend some of your Saturday nights here with us racing, but I know you spend some Saturday nights racing in real life. How's it been? How's the start of the season been?
I'm not the one that races out in California. I got the exact same name as that kid that races out in
Oh,
California.
that's hilarious. I thought it was you this whole time.
Nope. Nope. I get that question all the time.
Well, hey, look, you gotta sneak out there and get in his seat.
Yeah. I asked them for free merch, and they never responded. So.
Oh no! Well, maybe they'll see this. Maybe we can get you some free merch. Well, look, you got a podium tonight, and I feel like that was something that you were searching for.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've never gotten a podium in MRL ever, in the track masters or this. So that's something I always work for is, hey, if I can get a podium, that'd be a good finish. So definitely worked really, really hard today on the setup, and it paid off for me.
Well, there you go. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank BJ, Boozer, Brian for helping me understand how these cars work in real life and how to adjust them in real life. I'd like to thank Perry and Fraser for helping me set them up in the simulator, and just family for watching.
Well, absolutely, man. Hey, congratulations on the podium. Your first podium. Hopefully for more.
Yep, thank you.
That's Jace Hale rounding out your podium, and I was sure that I felt like we had him at a podium here before, Gavin, but Sometimes I'm wrong, and I was wrong twice in that interview, but hey, sometimes you got to just admit when you're wrong.
Well, Scott, that was Jace Hale, not Jace Hale.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, my goodness. Your final thoughts on the night here from Langley.
Well, it was a tale of two races. First half of the race, everybody was well behaved, saved their stuff, rode around in line, and then the chaos happened at the end, and it turned into a race of survival. And 3 drivers we talked to, Christian, Tanner, and Jace, they were 3 of them that survived.
A night of survival, and that's how it went from Langley Speedway round 13. Only 2 more races left in the Touring Series. 1 week from now, we will finish the Triple Crown Showdown at Richmond. Plenty of laps to be run around that place, and it is probably one of the biggest tracks we've been to all season long. It will be the biggest track we've gone to all season long. That'll be fun. It'll be awesome. And then we will close out season 3 of the Misfit Touring Series 2 weeks from now at Stafford Motor Speedway. It's going to be great. It's been fun. It's always fun. My name is Scott Shive. I'm joined alongside by Gavin Grubbs and our producer Morgan Cook, with cameras provided to us by Dougie Beard. Thanks to everyone like Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia on the MRL team. Go to racemrl.com if you want to learn more about the Misfit Racing League. Congratulations to Christian Peterson, your winner from round 13 at Langley. We'll see you in 1 week's time.